Hey everyone, it's Kenton Becker, American Pacific Mortgage. I am here again with another weekly video tip for you. This week's video tip is a very timely tip because we just received two updated reports today. One called the Case-Shiller Report, the other called the FHFA Home Price Index Report. Yeah, it's a mouthful. The Home Price Index Report, what it shows us is what is the market doing in terms of appreciation. Are homes appreciating, or are we in a bubble where they're actually going down? Well, you know what? For those of you that thought we were in a bubble, I'm sorry to say you were wrong. We are not in a bubble. We saw the seasonal declines that we typically see during the winter months, fall months, where home prices generally kind of level off. And I'm going to put a chart up here so you can see what I'm talking about. As we got into the end of summer, beginning of fall, we saw home prices level off and even dip a little bit, which is honestly not that unusual. Typically winter months, we do see that leveling off. And when you actually combine that with the high interest rates that we saw last year, it's not too surprising that home prices dipped a little bit. A lot of buyers said, I'm going to wait the market out, and that caused home prices to actually go down just a slight bit. But here's the thing, most that I talked to that thought we were in a bubble, they would point to this and say, see right there, the home prices are going to go down and we're going to see things start to decline and home prices are going to drop dramatically, and that's when I'm going to buy. Well, there's only one problem with that, and that is the last 2 months we've seen home price increases. Both of these reports that came out today show that in February, there was a 0.5% increase in the housing appreciation, and in January, there was a 0.2% appreciation in that. That means that things actually are starting to pick up month over month from where they were at the beginning of the year. Now, that also points to the fact that because interest rates have come down a little bit from where they were at the end of last year, that is what's leading a lot of buyers to come back into the market. They are noticing that home prices are still pretty competitive, and while they can get a little bit lower interest rate, they're jumping into the market now. We're going to see this continue to pick up, especially as we just head into the naturally warmer months of spring and summer, when generally is when we see the most activity. And then you add to that the fact that interest rates are kind of steadily declining. That's going to drive more buyers in, which creates more competition, and home prices continue to go up. Like I said, this report points to that already happening. So if you haven't got into the housing market, and if you're waiting to buy because, again, you think that there's a bubble or you think that the market's going to drop, there's just nothing that's pointing to that right now. We're seeing a very low inventory. We're seeing month over month appreciation gains, which is pretty typical for these seasonal times of year. We're seeing interest rates begin to decline. Everything is actually pointing towards the opposite of a housing bubble. And it's just pointing to more of the same thing with our market increasing and our market continuing to go up. I've spoken with many clients over the past couple years that every year it's like, oh, I wish I would have bought last year, but maybe next year will be better. Eventually they have to look back and go, I either need to get into a home now or I'm going to be priced out of the market. And so I would encourage you to explore your numbers. And if you're concerned about the interest rates, I've talked about this already many times in previous videos. You can always refinance those interest rates lower, but you can't go back and get a lower price on the home that you bought. So it's better to get into the price that is as low as you can get at the moment, and then we'll deal with the interest rate later as rates continue to drop. So that's what I got for you. Hopefully you found some value in this video. If you know anyone that you think would enjoy a video like this, share it with them. If you have any comments or questions, you can comment below or reach out to me with my email, phone number. Happy to answer your questions for you. Thanks so much for joining me on this weekly tip. Have a great week.